So, hi everyone, welcome to another AMA hosted by Unicast. I'm Benoit, and today we are diving into one of the most exciting frontiers in Web3, GameFi. So, from play to earn models to immersive blockchain powered experience, Web3 gaming is evolving fast, creating new opportunities for both player and professionals looking to break into the space. So, joining us today is Cory from Runesoul, a project that's pushing the boundaries of what gaming can be. So we'll be discussing the state of GameFi today, what makes Runesoul so unique, and how to build a career in Web3 gaming industry. So Cory, we're excited to have you here today.
Likewise, thanks so much. Happy to be here.
So otherwise, for those who are new to Unicast AI, we are building the first Web3 job board fully integrated with Telegram, making it easier to discover, apply, and share Web3 jobs. So we are now working with more than 120 projects and have a growing community of 20 plus K professionals. So on today's session, we'll explore the evolution of GameFi, what makes Runesoul stand out, how to break into GameFi careers, and of course, the future of Web3 gaming. So, Cory, welcome again. Great to have you here. To kick things off, can you briefly introduce yourself and share about your background and journey into Web3?
Sure thing. Yes, my name's Cory. I'm Canadian, but I've been in Vietnam for 9 years now. Before that, Japan for 4 years, so 13 years in Southeast Asia. I've been in blockchain industry since 2018. So I work for IBM currently. But in addition to that, I also have this particular project that we're talking about, Runesoul, which is the third um, GameFi project in game on the parent umbrella company of ID Planet, where I am one of the co-directors and CMO. Additionally, I have an AI deepen project and one very new kind of cognitive AI project looking to start up. So heavily in AI and crypto, and highly fascinated by the intersections of AI and blockchain.
Okay, and so for those as well who are not familiar with Runesoul, can you tell us about what the project is and how it started?
Yeah, absolutely. ID Planets, we started up about 4 years ago, and we've been we've built a blockchain, a GameFi blockchain. I actually personally don't recommend doing that. It wasn't a good idea. It's a lot more work than most people think. You've got this like triple chicken and egg problem to solve of having your users and your validators, and your product, um, all kind of there at the same time. It's a little bit easier to deal with the simpler chicken and egg problem of product and users. And the answer to that is just always product first. Product can wait for users, but users can't wait for your product. But anyways, we did it. We managed to pull off a blockchain. I would recommend to any other projects, in GameFi, don't do that. Just list on Avalanche or Solana or BSC. All of them have great toolings to make it much easier, and there's really no extra advantage that you get for building your own blockchain. It's just a lot of extra work. That said, so Runesoul is the third game. Basically, the first three games on this platform we've been building ourselves by design, just to kind of set the standard for the quality of the games, um, as well as have them integrated with their SDK. So all games on our platform have characters, items, equipment, etc., represented by NFTs. The characters in particular are card-based NFTs, and all of them are interoperable between all the games. So you can take items, equipment, characters from one game to the other, and you can actually then play with them in that game. And there's also a centralized NFT marketplace where you can transact between all of them, and it has a marketplace feature that tracks the value and demand of items at any given time. And also has an e-commerce AI built in that will actually recommend to you when is the optimal time to buy or sell a particular item or character. Um, so Runesoul, third game, it's a ARPG.
Nice.
Sorry?
No, no, I said nice. I was just wondering if you guys are also, so you mentioned about AI, planning to integrate more AI features as well into the game. Is it something in your roadmap?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a few already. So one was that e-commerce AI that I mentioned. Another one is content AI for NPC interactions. So player to player, moment to moment, you're going to get different content through your interactions with NPCs based on your decision making, where you are in the game, and then even on top of that, no two conversations will ever be exactly the same. So that's using again a content AI combined with a bunch of kind of like event flags that we add to the prompt in order to get the NPC's response. Um, and we also have a kind of a similar content or context AI, which decides when to surface particular events within the single player storyline mode. So you'll get different events
Mhm.
again based on your decision making, your play style, etc.
Okay. So a lot of people associate GameFi with the play to earn model. Do you think the narrative is shifting beyond simply earning rewards?
Yeah, absolutely. So if it really is just earning rewards, then I think that's a pretty good indicator that the project is going to fail. Um, so early projects, incentivize users by straight up just paying them to play games. And the most successful example of that um, was actually now I'm blanking on the name. It was right here in Vietnam in our own backyard. What was the name of that again? I would be blanking on it right in the middle of an AMA. Anyways, okay, there's one GameFi project that blew up here in Vietnam in
Mhm.
particular. Sorry, Axie Infinity. That was the one I was looking for. Axie
Oh,
Infinity
okay.
blew up
Yeah, yeah.
here. But they were really just straight up paying their players to play through the increasing value of these Axie tokens that represented the individual Axies, right? And at a certain point, people just realized, like, okay, hang on, who's actually paying all of these players to earn money from playing? If that's the only function that's going on, there's no real market or transactions otherwise. Um, then obviously it's only sustainable as long as investors continue to pour money in. And once that kind of sunk in, then the whole thing blew up. So these are when you're doing a GameFi project right on the offset, you need to make a lot of these what I call one-way decisions
Mhm.
because it's blockchain. You can't go back and fix them after. So if you make any of them wrong, then you're screwed at some point in the future. And in particular, you need to make these decisions such that one, you maintain. If you imagine your token circulation as a sink, you need to maintain the faucet and the drain at about the same speed. You need to be filling that tank at the same rate that you're draining it. And if it goes too far in one direction or the other, then you have problems. Um, and the other thing it needs to do is provide a utility and incentive for users to do something other than sell the token. Um, Particularly, you want them transacting on something like a marketplace. Because of that, I don't think individual, like one-off GameFi projects really work anymore. Because it's hard to create a really sufficiently robust marketplace with just one game. I think the only really viable GameFi projects now are GameFi ecosystem platforms, GameFi guilds, and that's exactly what ID Planet is. It's that ecosystem. It's got the dedicated wallet abstractions. We're automatically generating wallets for users who don't know blockchain,
Mhm.
centralized marketplace, and then an SDK that we're releasing so that more people can bring more games onto the platform. Um, but the tokenomics are designed such that if you reinvest the tokens that you earn from completing quests, beating other players in multiplayer battles, etc., back into your characters, items, equipment, etc., and then transact those on the marketplace, you'll always end up making more money, especially if you follow the transaction suggestions of the e-commerce AI. Um, so that some function like that, something
Hmm.
that if the smartest thing your users can do with your tokens is sell them, that's exactly what they're going to do. So you need to have something smarter for them to do, such that they're going to earn more later, and that's what takes the that sell
Yeah.
pressure off your token.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of things to manage because, well, in the traditional gaming industry, usually a studio focus mostly on the game itself, but now you have a whole part that you need as well to focus on the technical blockchain part, and not only the game. So I guess it makes things even more complicated, and that you need more skilled people that join your team, basically, if you have more technical areas that you need to cover.
Absolutely. And actually you really need to cover both sides of that, right? You still need to put out quality games. So I think we've also seen a lot of GameFi projects that have come out where they've put together you know, a real mid-tier mediocre mobile game, and then they just kind of slap tokens on top of it and hope that that's going to work. Um, so the days of that working are long gone too. You really needs to be more sophisticated than that. And even, I mean, the novelty of GameFi having tokens is not really that novel of a concept anymore. So just by dint of being GameFi, it's not going to make people play your game. It still has to be a genuinely
Hmm.
playable, addictive game with addictive elements in it that keep people coming back to it.
Yeah.
Um, so you
So
need both.
on
You need that all-star development team, and you need the technical blockchain team. Sorry.
on the both side that you've mentioned, what are the type of people or skills that Runesoul or your team needs the most usually? Is it mostly full stack developer or smart contract developer or even on the design side?
Probably the one role that we're always looking for people the most is Unity engine developers.
Mm.
Um, Most of the games now are built on, I mean, Unity being open source and whatnot. That's the way to build. Unity is built on a .NET framework, so it's C sharp. So C sharp developers, Unity developers are always in high demand. Um, because I mean they're doing your creative development. But you do, in addition to those, need some good story writers. Um, any good GameFi project needs to have a well-written, kind of gripping storyline. You need to have a good localization team. So you're going to want to have at least, a couple of good translators. Just using machine translation or ChatGPT is not going to cut it. Um, and illustrators, we're
Yeah.
also always in high demand for illustrators.
Okay, that's interesting. And so for people, for example, who would be already working in the Web2 gaming industry or looking to get into that space, um, what would be the best way to get started into GameFi, you'd think?
As a From a developer side, yeah, if you have particularly if you have Unity development skills, then there are unlimited GameFi projects looking to hire you. You can just about trip over a good GameFi job.
Oh, okay.
If you if you don't already have that experience, then as a developer, I would say go learn C sharp, .NET, and Unity as quick as you can. There's plenty of good content to learn it, and then just add to your CV that you're also a Unity developer, and then put that in front of some GameFi projects that you like, and you'll get hired very quickly.
Okay, that's a very good tips. Um, do you think community is even more important in GameFi project rather than just the Web2 gaming industry these days?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Would you think that the community aspect is even more important in Web3 and GameFi rather than the Web2 gaming industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it's important for both, of course, but it's much more important for Web3, any Web3 project, absolutely, including GameFi. So some of the core principles or distinguishing elements of blockchain, right, are um, uh, being trustless, right, verify rather than trust, um, and the ability to verify by going on to actually like querying the blockchain to confirm that XYZ spending decisions that some project is claiming are actually true. Um, and one of the core aspects of that kind of trust component or the trustless component is by having these interactions on the community. Um, with any kind of product, Web 2 or Web 3, if it's a good product and there's a good community, then you don't really need to do marketing, right? Like ChatGPT did basically no marketing. They put out a good product and they had referrals and a raving community, so it exploded very quickly. Or Gmail. I remember when Gmail first came out, the only way you could get an account at first was by referral from someone who already had an account, and everyone who gets an account gets 10 referrals. So everyone was, you know, um, freaking out, begging and screaming and anywhere they could for a referral to get an early Gmail account so that they could get a good username. Um, so
Mm,
those apply both to Web 2 and Web 3, but Web 3,
yeah.
there's an extra level to it in that people expect this level of transparency from any good project where they expect that all of the directors, the head of development, often all of the developers are going to do daily stand-ups on a Discord server or a Telegram, but for GameFi, it should be Discord. Um, and they're going to give their feedback directly on that Discord, and they expect that on the next day's stand-up, you're going to repeat the suggestions that the community made that you agree to um, incorporate into the roadmap. And if you don't
Okay.
have that level of interactivity, then that's an immediate clear sign that you're a low quality project.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a very different way of doing things. And to touch on as well, the non-technical role as well, what would be the first step that people, while looking for a non-technical role in GameFi, could take if they want to get into the space? Would you have some tips here? Would it be like to join Discord community, Reddit community, or Telegram, or to take some certification or training online that has to do with the GameFi area or blockchain?
The probably the number one I would recommend is join offline events. So there's crypto events. I mean, everywhere. Here in Saigon, it's a huge blockchain hub here, but pretty much in any mid-sized to large city in the world, you can find crypto events on meetup.com or Luna or sorry, Luma or any one of these services. Go join some of those. Meet interesting people. Go to some builder meetups. You'll learn a lot. You'll meet interesting people who will be valuable connections in your blockchain crypto career. Yeah, and often if you end up working with a project, it will be via some referral or direct connection that you made at one of these offline events. In addition to that, I would say just being active, yeah, on some Discords, Telegrams, X, obviously, and join some AMAs is also a good way to build up sort of a speaker reputation. If you're joining, let's say, one, two, or three AMAs even per week, that's enough to very quickly build up a reputation as a speaker. And if you have a particular background in some kind of technology that intersects with blockchain, such as AI, then there's plenty of people who will be happy to have you speak on their AMAs. But I would say number one is offline events. Just go on Luma, find some events nearby,
Hmm.
go join them, talk to people, exchange contacts, exchange telegrams, and stay in touch.
That's a good practical tips, really. On a side note, do you have a few games apart from Runesoul that you could recommend that really showcase the blockchain use case into the gaming space? Some innovative games that you saw recently?
The other ones on our platform. Yeah, so we have two others, Infinitar and Cool Gods. Both of them are on the Google Play and iOS stores already, and they follow the same principles as all the games that come on our platform. So again, NFTs are interoperable. You can pull characters, equipment, etc., from one game to another and use it. Um, and you can transact on the same central marketplace. By default, we also create one ID chain wallet for you that's interoperable between all the
Hmm.
games. Now, if you want, you can go swap that out for your own particular wallet that you'd prefer to use. But just by default, we automatically create one ID wallet, just so that we call this abstraction, right? So it's just so that non-blockchain centric or non-blockchain native users, when they join, they just join as they would a normal game. They just pick their username and password and start playing. They don't even necessarily know it's a blockchain game until a little ways into the game. We'll start kind of reminding them like, hey, by the way, you've got a wallet and you're collecting tokens, and you can go reinvest those tokens in your player, or go sell them on OKX, game or Gate.io, or MEXC, or any of these other marketplaces
Mm,
for money, and then it's just kind of a nice surprise.
that's great. Yeah, you guys are listed on good platform. Have you seen as well recently innovative games that make good blockchain use case?
Okay, that's a good question. Outside of our platform, uh, innovative recent games that make a good blockchain use case. Um, I haven't seen a lot lately. Um, maybe part of the issue is I'm not doing enough competitive research, so I should probably play some more of the new ones out, and see what they have to offer. But one of the issues I find when I do try other blockchain games is I find them a little bit too repetitive, um,
Yeah.
where there typically isn't a lot of innovation. In fact, not only is there a lack of innovation, but they tend to be copycat. All right, so they take like the MOBA concept or something like that, and then they just slightly alter the characters and colors, and then slap tokens on top of it, and then throw that out the door because it's just, I guess it's easier to build on a concept that's already popular. Um, so at the moment, I find there's a lack of innovation in GameFi, and that really needs to be turned around. Um, and Turned around by one, kind of players demanding better products, and not participating in games that are not innovative.
Hmm.
Um, and um, Two, I guess, having more other projects put out more innovative games, standardize things like AI integration and AI features so that it becomes expected, and then it puts market pressure on everyone else to do the same.
That's great. And for people who are listening who would like to get involved with Runsol or your other project, are you guys hiring or looking for people these days?
We are, like I said, we're always looking for more Unity engine developers in particular. Um, we Smart contract developers. We can always use some more of those. Um, Illustrators, we're always hiring. Illustrators, I would say, are high turnover though, and typically a little bit lower paid because there's a lot of them.
Mm,
Um, and what else? Yeah, that's mostly it. We're not really hiring in our marketing team anymore. So again, Unity Engine developers is the best route in.
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be able to share all the relevant links as well into the in the description for the people who would like to get involved. I think we are nearing the end of this AMA. Would you have some last practical tips for people who are looking to get into Web3 or the blockchain space that are looking to make a jump?
Yeah, for sure. So again, start with joining events, play some GameFi. Consider investing in a PC with a good GPU. I think that like the last job that's going to survive AI will be PC gamer because you can in your waking hours you can be playing games, earning tokens, transacting NFTs, making money that way. And then when you're not playing, you serve up your GPU on any one of these DPEN projects, and they'll pay you a passive income for renting out your GPU power. So you've got active and passive income,
That's
and
great.
because gaming is predicated on the players are supposed to be human, right? It's probably one of the more AI, one of the things that will resist being replaced by AI for the longest. So, but my assumption or prediction is that PC gamer will be like the last and most popular paying job left before AI replaces all human labor.
That's a good bet. Well, thanks a lot, Cory, for sharing your tips and insights. So you guys, if you enjoyed this session, here's how you can stay connected. Do follow us on X at Unicast AI for future updates on AMA, job opportunities, and career insight. You can also join our Telegram job board, t.me/unicastjobs to explore the latest Web3 roles and connect with top companies. And of course, check out Cory and Runesoul work. We'll share the social in the description so you can follow their updates and their opening. So we'll be
Yep.
back soon with more AMAs featuring industry experts. So stay tuned. Cory, do you have any last final words, closing words?
Final words. You can also find all of our communities at runesoul.com. And you can sign up to be notified when the game is available on Google Play iOS. We just resubmitted our application a couple days ago, so we expect it to be public in March on both stores. And then in the meantime, if you want to play some other ID Planet games, Infinitar and Cool Gods are both on the Google Play and iOS stores, and you can also find them at idplanet.io. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to it and good luck with that. Thanks, Cory. Bye bye.
Thanks so much. I know.